Yes, guys. Yes, people. Welcome back to Chelsea Fan TV. Welcome back to another match review. The first match review of Chelsea's Club World Cup journey. We have started with a 2-0 win. I was going to say at home, but not at home. I don't know if that's home, neutral, away, or just behind closed doors with that atmosphere. But Chelsea beat LAFC 2-0. The game should not have been done at a 3 p.m. on a Monday, as you lot saw by the attendance, because there was literally like 10% of the ground filled out. But that didn't stop anything from us. We had a comfortable, convincing, just based off the nature of the opposition we played. And yeah, just a straightforward performance and a straightforward victory. This is the sort of game that we would see back in the Conference League days. One of those games where you kind of expect us to play a little bit better. You kind of expect us to play with a little bit more intensity. But ultimately, we just did what we had to do to get in the lead. And we just saw the game out from there because, we're not conceding to this sort of team. We're just not. Not as long as we retain the possession. That, and we've heard from enough sources, Maresca included, that they're very worried about the fatigue levels of the squad, not just for this tournament, but for next season in the Premier League and how the Club World Cup might potentially impact that. So with that in mind, I am absolutely not surprised that we used this game as just another one of those Conference League games where we play at 30-40% intensity and we just do enough to win. That's why the likes of Neto, you saw him just barely even attempting to take on players in that first half. Because, part of me feels like he was told not to. Because I don't see you having so many opportunities to take on your man and not doing it. And it not being a managerial instruction. I just think he was told, just keep the ball ticking. Eventually, we will get an opportunity. We're just going to aim to go into halftime 1-0 up, and that's all that we did. Shout out to Nicholas Jackson. I thought he had a good performance. Both strikers had a good performance, but I know, there's going to see a lot of Delap versus Jackson now. This is a sort of game where both of them deserve praise. Both of them had good games. And hopefully, the competition gets the best out of both Jackson and Delap, because both of them did their thing. A lot of build-up play from Jackson was pretty well done. He made a great chance for Noni early on in the game that he just shot straight at the goalkeeper. The Neto goal was all thanks to Nicholas Jackson's build-up play and also how high we caught LAFC up the pitch too. But Jackson, all in all, had a really good game. There was one header that he could have maybe done a bit better with, but other than that, I don't think he had a bad performance at all. The rest of the attack, not great at all in that first half. Neto obviously got the goal, so it wasn't all bad. But as a performance, I thought he was very timid. Partly due to, I think, the instructions not to take players on. But even then, it wasn't as bad as Noni, because Noni was trying to and nothing was working out for him. He was garbage. And straight after the Conference League final disaster class, you don't want to be seeing that. You do not want to be seeing that at all, man. That was disgusting. I was a little bit okay with the whole Noni left wing session and everything, but the last two games have just been putrid. Real putrid. And I'm thinking, I'm going to need a left winger in sooner rather than later. Because these performances cannot keep running. And Noni, you do not have a long future at this club if your performances don't start picking up. Because this ain't acceptable. Especially against the nature of the team that we're playing against. That was garbage. At least with Neto, it was just a lack of application to take someone on. You were trying to and failing most of the time. To a point where they were affording you the space on the left. Because it was it's only Noni. It ain't going to be nothing. Bar all the problems in the attack. And Palmer weren't great first half either. He had barely any influence in that game. But bar that, I thought everyone else was fine. Caicedo, excellent, best of the lot as always. Lavia did his thing, especially in the higher areas of the pitch. The defense was barely threatened. Most of the threat came from the left-hand side because Bunaga's their best player, or however you pronounce his name, and Reece just had him on lock. We go to the second half. Gusto comes on. He gets caught out a few too many times, but Sanchez is there to deal with any issues that are there. And yeah, they weren't even threatening us that much anyway, so it didn't even mean anything. Kind of took our foot off the gas pedal a little bit too much. But we bring on the right substitutes and like the performance gets a little bit better. I thought Delap was good too. His first action was like using his strength to bully one of the LAFC defenders and then putting a great cutback on a plate for one of our players who didn't convert from it. Then he put on the best cross I've seen all game to Enzo Fernandez, who is really in his box crashing bag. And that's just the game done at that point. And Kunku comes on, made a great run in transition. George didn't get the ball to him quickly enough. And bar that, LAFC weren't nothing. They weren't anything going forward. They made it very easy for us to pass the ball around at our own pace. And it was a very easy, straightforward game for the Chelsea. But yeah, that is basically the game. Hopefully the rest of group stage games are kind of like that, where we don't really exert too much energy, but we get the job done and we win the games that we're expected to win. And bar that, big up every single one of you that's locked in. Let us know all your thoughts down in the comment section below. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe on your way out. And we'll see you guys very soon. Up the Chelsea. Let's go get the World Cup. Let's go become world champions. Let's go.